Stand by, and you're hot.
Good evening. This is Kevin Muhammad, the preacher. Here I can hear the echo. Okay, Mr. Tom will go ahead and take this earpiece off because I can hear it echoing in my ear. All right.
Everything sounds good here, though.
Okay. Well, is broadcasting okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening to you all. This is Kevin Muhammad. Freedom, justice, and equality to you, the American black people. This is a very important broadcast. The name of this broadcast is The War of Christ. The reason that I am coming to you is because the time is late. And quite frankly, I don't believe that we as a people are getting the proper preparation and warning of the upcoming disaster that's coming before us. As you may suspect, if you got a flyer, my name is Kevin Muhammad, and I am a Muslim. Yet, you may be perplexed or a bit have questions. Why would a Muslim be talking about the war of Christ and the subject matter concerning Christ's return? I want to clear all these matters up. And this is an initial broadcast. I'm fairly new at this. This will be my first foray into a radio broadcast. So if it's not as smooth and as, as polished of a broadcast as you are generally used to, you must forgive me because this is my first foray into this. Now, we're going to, the scope of the program, we're going to get into some things. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. But before I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the program. The program is concerning the end of the world. And it is my belief that this is the end. And when I say the end, I mean like we're about to enter into God's unquestionable, undoubted judgment. It's going to be fairly obvious what's going on in a few days. And the scope of this program will cover primarily the book of Revelations. This is a book, as I was growing up as a child, I grew up as a Christian child in Detroit, and I'm from Detroit. This is a book that the preachers never taught on, at least when I was there. And there's a good chance that they never did because my mother had me in church every Sunday. My mother was a dedicated religious woman. I was there every Sunday, and the book of Revelation is a book that's not commonly taught on in the church. Now, not only is this broadcast has to do with Scripture, it also has to do with current events. And if you can't relate what's going on in your life to the Scripture, if the Scripture can't give you any guidance on what's going on now, then it's really no good to you. I remember there's a comedy script by a comedian by the name of Flip Wilson, and he had a comedy script. And he said he had the church of what's happening now. You know, and that's a pretty entertaining way of describing, what you need to hear. Although I do not describe this broadcast as being some form of a church, but loosely speaking, this is the church of what's happening now. And throughout this broadcast, I'm going to be bringing you information concerning scriptures, concerning current events, and concerning what I see coming down the road. Now, just a little bit about me, in case you're wondering. I am your host, Kevin Muhammad. I am from Detroit, Michigan. I was born and raised in Detroit. I am from Detroit. I went to Detroit King High School. I graduated in 1991. I am 39 years of age. I am a Muslim minister, and I proclaim to be a Muslim minister under the Nation of Islam. And I am not associated in any shape, form, or fashion with Louis Farrakhan or anybody else you may have heard there in Detroit or elsewhere. If you're in Detroit, you may be listening to a brother that calls himself the Son of Man. I am not associated with him. If you're listening to this broadcast in Atlanta, you may be familiar with Brother Silas. I'm not associated with any group that came about after Elijah Muhammad. Okay? Now, what I want to talk to you about is the time. And to, like I said, this is not the most polished broadcast, so please forgive me. I'm just going to talk to you like family. And, you know, last night, you know, right now I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know, I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, visiting my children, and I came across a Rastafarian, and he told me that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan was going to be teaching at Southern for free. You know, this was 2 days ago. And I told the brother, I said, well, you know, I'm not very interested in hearing anything that Louis Farrakhan has to say. And brother told me that, you know, well, brother, if you're going to get on the radio and be saying the things you're going to say, and, you know, you may reference that, brother, you need to probably go and see what he's talking about. And I told that brother, I said, brother, it's going to take meditation in the hand of God to get me to go to sit down and listen to Louis Farrakhan. But upon reflection, and on the eve of my broadcast, I went to this meeting, and I'm very glad I did, because it underlined the importance of why I need to get on the air and talk to you myself. Oh, by the way, in case you're just tuning in by radio, the website for this broadcast is War of Christ. I repeat, the website for this broadcast is War of Christ, or you can type in www.hereiswisdom.com. Again, that's www.hereiswisdom.com or www.warofchrist.com. Now, going back to Farrakhan, I went to the meeting last night, and I seen and heard things that disturbed me greatly. And I suppose I'll start right there. Although I didn't plan to start with the meeting I attended last night, I think it's quite relevant. As you know, the American economy is in free fall. Prices are going up, and gas prices are going up. Specifically to the listeners in Detroit and elsewhere, you notice that a great majority of you are on food stamps to supplement your income. And according to the latest numbers that I've read concerning those Americans that's on food stamps, I think the number is like 50 million. And I think our population in this country is 330 million. Now, unless my math is incorrect, I believe that's 1/6 of the population of this country is on food stamps. Okay, now, this is what I want to tell you is this: you must prepare. Okay, what's going on is the prices are going up, and the storehouses are getting light, and no one is telling you this. You're watching the news, you're watching Dancing with the Stars, you're being entertained, you're watching the baseball game, you're watching basketball, and you think that everything is hunky-dory. I'm here to tell you that it is not. What you need to do immediately is to go to the store, take your money, your food stamps, and start stocking up on food. Because according to the information that I have, and by the way, this is the initial broadcast. In the coming days, when I cite a fact, I will post it on warofchrist.com. But for right now, please forgive me. I have not had the time to post all of the articles online for you to to double check behind me on my website. But in the coming days, for the facts and figures that you hear me enunciating or speaking to you about, they will be posted on the site. But if you would grant me the privilege of giving me the benefit of the doubt, what's going on is this. This year, it's been a drought. It hasn't been raining. Okay, the first 6 months of this year is the hottest year on record. Okay, as far as the cattle in this country, they don't have grain to feed the cattle. So what we have here, the situation we have here is, we have food shortages, we have cattle not being fed, yet prices are artificially low. Well, you are in an election year. Okay, and when you deal with politics and the economy, strange things start happening. So, to cut to the chase, things are being held back because of this election. But I'm telling you, according to my research, if you don't start stocking up on food and water, you're going to have a problem. Okay, now I'm going to play a clip for you to further underline the importance of what I am trying to tell you. Now, this is a clip from Atlanta, Georgia, and these are black women with children talking about the food stamp program. And this is not what you will see on headline news on CNN. This is a local Atlanta news broadcast. But I'm bringing it to you to show you what's going on around this country, that the information that's going on around this country that's not being told to you. And I don't want you to be sitting ducks out there when this white man drop you and you don't have any food or water to drink and eat. So here's the broadcast from Atlanta, Georgia, from Fox News on October 2nd. This was just 2 days ago, 2 days before this broadcast. This is what's going on in Atlanta. Here you go.
And frustration from dozens of Clayton County parents who say their children are going hungry tonight after their food stamps were suddenly cut off. Fox 5's Justin Gray is at the live desk with the story that is all new tonight on The Edge. Justin.
Tom, state officials admit to me tonight that something went wrong down in Clayton County at the office that administers food stamps and Medicaid, but they're still not sure what. Parents tell me tonight they can't buy food without those food stamps.
This food stamp card ain't got number 17 cents on it.
Terry Clark says she stood in line for more than 6 hours at Clayton County's Human Services office because food stamp help for her 6 children unexpectedly ended.
There's no telling my kids that we can't eat. I'm not taking no, because my babies don't deserve that. Nobody kids should go hungry down here in Georgia.
State officials say this office was overwhelmed today, with dozens of families facing a similar problem. The food stamps just not there.
Me and my kids, they haven't ate since this morning. And I was supposed to get my food stamps yesterday, and I didn't get nothing.
So they was getting angry. They started banging on the windows.
A state spokesperson tells me what happened here today was out of the ordinary and it was unexpected, but they say they're not sure what exactly went wrong, what was the glitch that led to this mess.
Our budgets have not increased. They've been actually decreasing.
This director admitted to me there were problems here as he tried to calm fears. And his statement as state spokesperson says, quote, "We have both state and county staff working to understand the cause of the problem today. We are working to ensure people receive their food stamps as soon as possible."
I'm a cancer patient. I need these pills to survive. Okay?
Candace Bennett says her cancer medications have nearly run out, and after spending all day here, her Medicaid and her food stamps are both still on hold.
When are y'all gonna come through? When you gonna come through? When I'm on my last pill? Or better yet, when I'm dead? And then I won't need it.
State officials say that Clayton County office was closed Monday because of furloughs, and that could have contributed to the lines. They are investigating whether some sort of paperwork or computer problem might have led to some families getting their benefits cut off by mistake. Reporting at the live desk tonight, Justin Gray, Fox 5 News.
All right, Justin, thanks.
Okay. I think I'm back online. Now, a news broadcast in Atlanta, Georgia, about mothers, black women, and black children cannot eat because there's no money on the food stamp card. This is coming nationwide. Okay, I want to tell you something. I'm not about to get into too deep of into the things I'm going to get with you on the future, but I'm going to say this. You know, white people are not going to tell you how bad it is until you're in it. Okay. And I'm your brother. I'm about to tell you what's going on now. This is coming nationwide, okay? Just for another example, okay, it's not just in America. The country of China. China is experiencing a famine also, okay? It's happening in India, okay? But we're in America, so we may not be that concerned about what's going on